I do have the rifle. That is the rifle from my childhood, which I always played with the Snowtrooper, and he still holds it to this day, 40 years later.
I am your father.
Hey everybody, it's David from Red Wagon Dioramas. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another Kenner collection video. This is my Kenner collection behind me on this IKEA cube shelf. I already gave you guys a tour of the top shelf here with all the Tatooine guys. And today I'm gonna do a little walkthrough tour of my Hoth shelf down here in the middle. Gotta hit the lights here for a sec. There we go. So I'm gonna take a few minutes and walk you through the whole shelf, show you all the figures I have. Some of those are from my childhood collection, which is awesome. Is the Hoth shelf my favorite shelf in my Kenner collection? Boy, it might be, because those are the figures I had the most of as a kid. Anyway, I'm really excited to show this to you guys. I do want to say thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. All you guys who watch with me every week, thank you for your engagement, your comments. Love you guys. If you're new to the channel, I do videos on the Kenner collection, on Star Wars Black Series, on some customs, some dioramas and stuff I've made. So check those videos out on the channel too. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button for me. It really helps me out on the channel. And if you're new, please consider subscribing. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, guys, here we go. Just for context, this is my 5x5 IKEA Kallax shelf, which I've taken out some of the dividers so I have more space there in the middle. And on the top, I have my Return of the Jedi and the Falcon up there. Then I've got my Tatooine shelf. You can watch the video of that shelf I've already posted. And then I will be doing other videos here of some of the other collections and the other cubes. I will get to that soon on the channel. But for today, it is the front and center shelf here with the Hoth display. So I'm going to go through this with you guys and just point out some of my favorite pieces. And you tell me what I'm missing and what I should add next. Now, first I want to highlight my favorite piece on the shelf, which is the playset here. This is the, what did they call it? The Imperial Attack Base. There's some of the cardboard from the original box there. Not my box. I got that at my local Emporium shop. He had some extra cardboard he sold me. This set is my childhood playset when I was a kid, and I played with this thing so much. It was my favorite Star Wars set piece, I think, besides the Ewok Village. Now, you'll notice I do have it set up with Darth Vader and the Imperials in the base. And why do I have it that way? You know, it should be the Rebels in here, right? This should be Echo Base, and they're defending it. But, of course, the guys who photographed the figures on the box put the bad guys inside the base and the good guys on the outside. So in my 4-year-old, 5-year-old mind, that was how it was supposed to be. So whenever I played with this, I put the bad guys inside the Imperial Base. Anybody else do the same? I'm just curious. My favorite feature on this playset was the exploding bridge. Right now I have my my Ghost of Obi-Wan there on top. And if you push that button in the back, those two archways will fall down. And I love that as a kid. I'd put guys up on top of it and knock it down. I'd put guys under it, have it fall on them. Great play feature. They have a similar feature here where this gray, building part will kind of blow up and fall over if you hit the button here, right here. And the other play feature here, of course, was the big cannon with the turret. Now mine doesn't click anymore because the piece of plastic broke off the bottom. I always love putting the Snowtrooper on this gun here and having him spin around and shoot at the other guys. Now, next to the Imperial Attack Base, which again I think should really be Echo Base, is the actual Echo Base playset. Now, this playset is pretty simple, just comes with the white base. That's the same base as the Land of the Jawas comes with. It's just molded in white plastic. And it comes with this cool cardboard backdrop, which you get the Millennium Falcon in there, and the X-Wing, and the Snow Speeders, and some of the characters running around, the guy in the Tauntaun. Yeah, I think I picked this up just about a year ago. It was at the Marshfield Fair in Massachusetts. There was a vendor who was selling some vintage stuff. The cardboard's in decent shape. I got that complete with the 2 tabs that hold it up and the base. And I think I paid $100 for it. My favorite part about this is just the cardboard backdrop. I just love that retro style of the old play sets like that. Now, I also have one of the Echo Base turrets over here. And that's one where the door can open. You can put a guy in there, and there's a little hatch here. Now, this was a piece that I got also at my local shop, the Emporium, on 2 separate days. One day, there was a vendor there at the flea market selling the top, and then, I don't know, a couple months later, I was able to get the base from him. So, piecing that together, I think it cost me $10 total for the whole turret. I was really happy when I found the base on that second flea market day. So, thanks again, Eric. Check out the Emporium shop in Easton if you guys are in the Massachusetts area. Great place to go. Now, you notice in the back I do have a couple card backs there. I've got the AT-AT Driver and Darth Vader, the Empire Strikes Back cards. The other thing I've got here is the tripod laser cannon. Now, this piece of cardboard actually survived from my childhood. That was my packaging. I guess I saved it probably for the pop, but that's all I have of the box from that. I do have the cannon though. This is my childhood cannon here. The only piece I was missing was like the power generator box or the ammo box, whatever that thing is. So I had to buy that in one of the Facebook groups. I think I got one for like $8. It was a good deal. The rest of this cannon is mine from when I was a kid, and I used to set him up with the Snowtrooper as well. Let me show you what other figures here are from my childhood. I do have this Hoth Soldier here. This was mine. You can see the initials there, DH on the bottom. I also have this guy. Now for me, this was always Luke. I always thought this guy was Luke Skywalker. So I always played with him as Luke. I never had the other, Luke over here. So this was my Luke as a kid. He's also got the initials on his feet there. Now I did the initials just a couple years ago because I didn't want to lose track of which ones were mine versus the other ones I was buying to fill out my collection. And there's one more figure in the mix here that is from my childhood, and it is this guy right here, the Snowtrooper. I do not have the cape anymore. He is yellowed a bit. I do have the rifle. That is the rifle from my childhood, which I always played with the Snowtrooper, and he still holds it to this day, 40 years later. Now, all the other figures here are ones that I've bought in the last 2, 3, 4 years when I started collecting Kenner again. And some of them came in loose lots. Some of them I bought individually, like complete. This is the only Snowtrooper I actually have that has the skirt, so I do need some more skirts. Picked up a couple of the AT-AT drivers. I actually have 4 of them somehow. I think I got them in different lots. So I've got one here in this mini rig, one in that mini rig. Got 2 in the base there. Also, of course, picked up a General Veers. I never had this guy as a kid. He's a pretty cool figure. And put one of my Vaders in here as well. And then I got a Death Star Trooper in here for some reason. I think I just wanted another Imperial on the base. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is actually my childhood Tauntaun. I did buy some new reins for him because I lost the reins, but the saddle and the Tauntaun is actually mine from when I was a kid. So yeah, that covers my childhood figures here. I do have FX7 from my childhood, but he's over in a different shelf. So the other figures that are here are ones that I picked up in different Facebook groups or Mercari or eBay or whatever, or local shops. I got Han in the blue coat. I've got 2 of those because that was one of my favorite figures as a kid. But I picked up a Hoth Leia. I picked up Luke there. I got a better FX7 because mine was all busted. All the legs were broken on my childhood one. Picked up a Farm Boy Luke that was kind of yellowed. I put one of the masks on him. Got 2-1B, another figure I never had as a kid. Yeah, I can't remember where I got the laser cannon, but it came in one of the lots I bought online as well. I'm not certain that this is actually vintage. This might have been a later edition of it, but for now it goes on my Echo Base there. You will notice some modern figures in here. In the back here, I've got the retro collection Luke Skywalker with the blue saber and the grappling gun that Hasbro put out recently with that board game. So he's in here just because this is kind of where he fits. And then the droids here, are these newer ones? C-3PO and R2 here are the new ones from the retro collection. So those are the ones that Hasbro did last year. You will notice down here I've got a little tiny baby Wampa. This is from Graham at the next17.com. It's a factory-made figure, not 3D printed. I love these figures. So I picked that up from him, and that's also where I got my Ghost Obi-Wan here. So he's kind of up on the archway overlooking the battle. Now, I am a Patreon member at Next17, so if you're a Patreon member there, you get some early looks at some upcoming releases, and I can't say what's coming, but there is a figure coming that's going to go on this shelf when it releases, and I'm pretty excited about that. So check out Next17.com if you're into vintage Kenner and you like buying some of those figures that Kenner never made. I do have a Wampa back here. He's a little bit yellowed. I may look for a cleaner Wampa when I'm down at ICC-Con next month. So I'd like to get one that's a little bit more white. I also have a probe droid over here. Now that's not the vintage one. I don't have the vintage one. That's a Power of the Force one, I think, from the 90s. But it's close enough for now until I get a better one. And of course I've got the 2 mini rigs here. Those are ones I never had as a kid either. The only mini rig I had as a kid was that Cap 2 one there with Bosk. But I always liked the mini rigs, and they're pretty cool, and they're pretty inexpensive to pick up, so I've grabbed a few of those in recent years. I have one modern figure here. I have the little tiny Snowtrooper on the speeder bike that came with the blind bags from the Micro Galaxy Squadron, the Jazzwares figures. So I've got one of him down here too. You can see here the booklet here. I've kind of been glossing over that, but this is also from my childhood. This is one of the ones that my mom kept nice and safe for me in her files. And she mailed me a bunch of stuff a couple years ago, and this was in there. So it's pretty cool to flip through these. There's all the mini rigs. I used to love looking at these as a kid and kind of put my wish list together for Christmas or birthday every year. Always wanted an AT-AT, never got an AT-AT. Just got the Rebel Transport too, but it's missing a bunch of the parts. But I have a decent shell. And of course, the Falcon was the one ship I did have as a kid. It was pretty cool. So yeah, there's some stuff in here that I would like to add to my collection at some point. But I love those booklets. It's great nostalgia right there. All right, and the other thing I haven't covered yet are the jumbo figures. You see these in the background here. I've got, obviously, the Snowtrooper, the AT-AT driver. Then I've got Han and Leia over here. These are, of course, the 12-inch Gentle Giant jumbo figures that have come out over the years. I think I got all of these as loose figures on eBay. So usually when I'm buying these loose figures, that you can get them for anywhere from sometimes as low as $50 each up to $100. Depends on, the scarcity and the demand. But I just love having these guys mixed into my Kenner display. I have them basically on every shelf now. If you guys have any questions about the jumbo figures, let me know in the comments. I will be doing some more videos on those in the future. All right, guys, so that is my tour of my Hoth shelf. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed showing it to you. And I know there's some stuff missing from this collection. The snow speeder's not there. I do have my childhood snow speeder, but like a month or two ago, I decided to take it apart, try to fix the electronics, and that was a mistake. Now it's in pieces, so I gotta figure that out again. And then, of course, I don't have an AT-AT. I don't have a vintage AT-AT. I have the legacy one down here on the ground, but missing some pieces for that. But I've never had a vintage AT-AT, and that's pretty high up on my list as far as Kenner collection. I really like to get one of those. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button for me if you enjoyed the video. Check out my other Kenner collection videos on the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one. May the Force be with you. Bye.